agreed to Memphis, never gonna happen is what that was. Ahead of that, it was Leland Sundries and the Food Court Blues. 16 minutes in front of the top of the hour. I got silly stuff on the way. Lots of silly stuff, really. There was a story that I had here. Talk about bait and switch, man. Sometimes these services, though, these new services that I'll see, they'll say,
and you read a headline that,
they go, "Oh, this seems fun." And the headline is that a man dies during a recreation of the crucifixion of Jesus on Good Friday. And the first thing I'm thinking is that they nailed
him to the cross.
Yeah, no, it was some guy playing the part of Simon Peter during the Passion of the play. The play of whatever that is, and he just keeled over dead. He was a first-year student in Nigeria, but had nothing to do with being nailed to the cross, which was a bummer. So I just dumped the story. That's all there is to it, really.
Yeah.
I was thinking, because in the Philippines, there's people that do this.
I know.
I mean, I get the devotion. That's all well and good, but I think you might need to slow your roll a little bit there, Padre.
Right.
Things can get out of control pretty quickly.
Yeah, they can.
I mean, let's be sensible here. The Romans developed crucifixion as a horrific way to die.
Yeah. There was a reason they did that.
Well, of course there was. And I remember seeing, there were several documentaries about how it was done. And it was...
Oh, man.
It's not what you think it is.
No.
You die of suffocation.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Right.
It's not fun.
No.
And sometimes they would crucify you upside down. There was talk that one of somebody of note, I forget which one, was done in that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was when they used the Orthodox cross with the two.
Probably. Probably. Or the upside down cross.
Yeah, I think that was probably it.
The devil people go, oh, we got our upside down cross. It's like, no, that was also a way the Romans did you in.
Correct.
The Romans didn't care.
No.
They didn't care who or why. They just needed to know who.
Right.
And they were corporate. That's the best way to think about it.
No, they were completely corporate. For that day and age, yeah.
People would bring their grievances to the Roman court. They were the ones that were running the show in various parts, and they'd say, "Hey, we got to get rid of this guy." And they go, "Okay,
yeah."
As long as the taxes get paid,
right. we don't care.
We don't care. They were pretty efficient about it.
Kind of like Ron DeSantis.
Yes, in a way. Except I don't know. He's not that smart. I don't know.
No. I didn't mean that.
No. I have an interesting update of a man by the name of James David Russell. Because we know all three of his names, he's a bad guy. Bonner County, Idaho. He's a defendant who allegedly murdered a 70-year-old man and then ate him. He has now been determined to be mentally fit to proceed to trial.
Oh, really?
Well, okay. The real crime here, in my estimation, is the fact that, not only did he kill the guy and ate him, but he microwaved him. No, you don't do that. No, you got to put it in a skillet or broil it or put it in an oven.
Yeah, in the oven.
No, he microwaved it. No. Court records indicate that James David Russell, Jimmy as he's known, who's 40, is charged with first-degree murder and cannibalism. Both charges are felonies.
Oh, wait. There's a separate felony for cannibalism?
Yes, there is. In Idaho, there is, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cannibalism charge alone is punishable by up to 14 years in prison. So if you just eat somebody, you're going to get 14. That's according to state statute.
So don't order any human steak.
Local law enforcement authorities said last December that they believe the cannibalism charge may be the first of its kind in Idaho since the state banned the practice more than 30 years ago. So, so before 30 years ago, it was perfectly okay, I guess, to have, ham of Steve.
No. Loin of Lisa.
Yeah.
No.
Now, the murder charge could result in a life sentence or the death penalty, depending on which route the prosecutors choose to take on this whole deal. A press release issued back on the 13th of September by the Bonner County Sheriff's Office, as deputies responded to a call about a suspicious death. The location was on Lower Mosquito Road in Clark Fork, Idaho. That location is more than 8 hours north of Boise in the state's Panhandle region and only 80 miles south of the Canadian border. Now, once authorities arrived, they found David M. Flaggett, 70, unresponsive inside of a vehicle. The press release continued that Russell, then 39, was allegedly living on the property, and the authorities said they found an indication that he had been involved with Flaggett's death. All right? We think he did it. The subsequent investigation by detectives established probable cause that David Flaggett had died at the hands of James Russell. The law enforcement dispatch indicated in a brief conclusionary fashion. Few other factual details were given initially. The press release did indicate, and court records also show, that a judge ordered a competency hearing for the defendant in this case. Now, court records obtained say that the defendant indicated during a September 13, 2021 hearing that he doesn't want an attorney.
Really?
Bold move. Let's see how that plays out. A judge appointed one anyway. A document containing the minutes of that proceeding also say the defendant refuses a competency exam, and the appointed defense attorney agreed one was necessary despite the client's objection because he ate somebody, maybe.
Yeah. No. Just check his poop.
According to an online court docket, the defendant was admitted to the Idaho Security Medical Program in October of 2021. A state statute said that is a, quote, a program for persons displaying evidence of mental illness or psychosocial disorders and requiring diagnostic services and treatment in a maximum security setting.
Yeah. With no sharp instruments.
Well, anyway, they did all of this, and they determined that he is fit for trial. That he may be crazy and he may eat somebody, but he knows what he did. Mm-hmm. That's kind of, that's part of what that is. Yeah.
I really don't understand the disconnect that's happening there with those kind of people.
That eat people?
Yeah.
Well, it's easy. He was hungry.
Dude. Beef jerky. No. Can of tuna, dude.
He's gotta hide the evidence. There's a whole lot here on
Jiminy Christmas
on how they
cooked them.
No, that
recipe.
No, just about how the hearing of of the deal here. Oh, okay, all right. Here, this is what I was trying to get to was what had happened at the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
An investigation revealed post-mortem mayhem along the right thigh.
Oh.
Well, that's the part you want. The anus and genitalia. The guy was wanting to eat his butthole, for God's sake.
Oh, dude.
Investigators found suspected human flesh, latex gloves, bloodied newspapers, bloodied duct tape pieces, cutting implements with suspected blood, and several areas of blood spilled all over the place there. The defendant was described as the sole resident of this loft apartment where the evidence turned up, according to court paperwork. A subsequent affidavit supplied more graphic detail about what the defendant was allegedly doing. Oh, here we go. I know it's tasteless if you'll pardon the expression, but hey, during the search of James Russell's apartment, a bowl and microwave containing apparent blood and tissue were seized. These items, along with the tissue recovered at the same scene, were sent back to the Idaho State Lab for testing, and according to the state lab, both the bowl and the outside of the microwave contained the DNA of the dead guy. During the morning of September 10, 2021, James Russell and his uncle, Mark Russell, got into an argument. Later that day, James Russell left a voicemail on Mark Russell's phone, apologizing for his actions, stating, "Sorry, I might be a little sensitive. Some sort of food I ate," end quote.
What?
Yeah, it didn't sit well with him. A little Alka-Seltzer, it'd be all right. That subsequent affidavit also pointed back to a previous investigation involving the defendant, this one in California. On May 3rd, 2021, San Diego Police Department responded to a Mesa Vista hospital where brothers of James Russell had taken him for psychiatric help. During the investigation, family members told officers there that James Russell, the defendant, wanted to cut chunks of his skin off with a knife.
Oh, and this guy was allowed to run free.
And he said that this was in order to cure his brain. Hence the psychiatric evaluation to see if he's mentally fit for court.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he's past that, so he's off to go stand trial.
Room.
Yeah. The court documents further claim the defendant was not able to understand his Miranda rights. However, the defendant allegedly uttered one thing about the victim's death. It's private property and we don't like non-family on it. Well, that's a bit protective.
Wow. So we're going to eat them?
Trespassers will be eaten. Under Idaho
that'd be a
law,
good sign to have up, and that would deter people.
Under Idaho law, any person who willfully ingests the flesh or blood of a human being is guilty of cannibalism. Well, that's a pretty good way to describe that.
Yeah, it is.
It shall be an affirmative defense to a violation of the provisions of this section. The statute continues that if, quote, the action was taken under extreme life-threatening conditions as the only apparent means of survival.
Such as the Donner Party.
Right. The law has been on the books since 1990. Authorities acknowledge that the cannibalism charge is perhaps, thankfully, a novel one. It's the first time they've ever had to deal with this. Yeah.
See, we're worried about critical race theory in math books.
Uh-huh.
And this kind of shit's going on.
Uh-huh. People eating people.
Yeah. And not in a good way.
No. He wanted a slice of thigh, his butthole, and his junk.
Was he making a tossed salad? What? I mean, what the hell?
Perhaps. I guess. I don't know. I guess.
Oh.
It's. I guess it's the delicacy.
Oh, jeez. He wanted to cut hunks of his own flesh off
to quote unquote cure his brain. Well, he did his own research, apparently.
Yeah. Wow, man. That's... Wow.
Uh-huh.
I just, I've seen films where people do this, but it's all Hollywood.
Well, of course.
Then when you think about somebody really doing it, it's freaky.
Well, yeah, it is. It's
freaky enough in Hollywood.
It is. I saw Psycho.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, and the second one, Ray Liotta.
Yes. Oh, that scene is...
That's rough, dude.
Yeah, he's talking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And he saved some for later, and he gave it to the kid on the plane. Remember that? Yeah.
Craziness, man.
Yeah. They need to take this guy and just put him in a box somewhere.
Yeah.
And be subjected to interview after interview till the day he dies.
Yeah.
They need to find out what's going on.
Find out what's making that mind tick.
Mm-hmm. I think the death penalty is too easy. Way too easy for something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But then again, if he's insane... I mean, I don't know.
Well, clearly
figure anything. Well, yeah, there's a disconnect.
They're saying that he's not insane.
I don't buy it
to the point that he's able to stand trial. It's I guess the measuring stick on this, and I'm no lawyer here, but the measuring stick is to determine if he understood the difference between right and wrong.
Right.
And apparently he does, and he knows that it's not right to be eating people.
Right.
But he did it anyway.
Yeah.
He needs to be studied.
Studied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to be a lab rat.
I don't even know what triggers anything like that.
I don't know.
In anybody. It's just... Is he from Florida?
Idaho.
No, I mean, but maybe he was born in Florida.
Maybe if he was in Florida, they would let him run for office.
Oh, maybe so.
That's probably what they would do. They might as well. Look what they got down there anyway.
Yeah. God.
Uh-huh.
Well, if this guy goes to prison...
nobody will want to be anywhere near him.
No.
He'll be in solitary.
Yeah. Hey, don't sit next to that dude. He'll take a bite out of you.
No. What's for lunch, Jimmy? Tina.